California moves forward with E15 ethanol fuel rollout as state backs higher ethanol gasoline to cut emissions and fuel costs. California is laying the groundwork to introduce E15 gasoline, a blend with 15% ethanol, into its retail fuel market. While the state has long limited ethanol content in gasoline to 10% due to strict air quality standards, new legislation signed by Gavin Newsom opens the door for broader use of the higher ethanol blend at fueling stations. The decision follows emissions research from the University of California, Riverside, where testing on a representative fleet of 20 passenger vehicles and light-duty trucks showed measurable reductions in several key pollutants. Vehicles using E15 instead of the standard E10 blend emitted lower levels of carbon monoxide, total hydrocarbons, and particulate matter, the latter being especially relevant for public health due to its links to respiratory and cardiovascular conditions. The underlying reason? Ethanol contains oxygen, which supports more complete combustion. That translates to cleaner tailpipe emissions, a finding that aligns with other national research. While nitrogen oxide NOx reductions were statistically limited, state air regulators are closely reviewing the results as part of a broader assessment of the fuel's long-term viability in California's complex atmospheric conditions. Beyond emissions, E15 offers potential savings at the pump. Ethanol is typically cheaper than petroleum-based gasoline, and studies from UC Berkeley and the U.S. Naval Academy estimate that expanded E15 use could lower fuel prices by up to 20 cents per gallon. Given California's high fuel demand, that price impact could be amplified if adoption scales. From a market perspective, wider E15 use could drive demand across the U.S. biofuels sector, with possible benefits for domestic ethanol production and upstream agricultural inputs like corn and soybeans. It also fits into broader energy policy narratives, particularly around diversifying supply chains and reducing dependence on imported crude oil. Importantly, this policy move does not displace the state's electrification goals. Instead, stakeholders are framing E15 as a bridge strategy, a lower carbon option for the state's large base of internal combustion vehicles as California transitions to a zero-emission fleet. The existing fuel infrastructure is largely compatible with E15, meaning real-world benefits could be realized sooner, not later, provided emissions compliance is verified. For now, E15 availability will expand cautiously, with regulators continuing to test its performance under real-world conditions unique to California. But the state's decision to advance this fuel blend marks a notable pivot in its transportation strategy, with implications for energy suppliers, automakers, agriculture, and the logistics sector.